मन्यू चक्रव्यूह में फंस गया है तू. Ever since I heard that song from this new movie that I'm about to talk about, it has been looping around in my head. And it's a very finely remade song. And let's jump into talking about the movie, shall we? So, Crazy with an X is the new movie starring Shohum Shah, produced by Sohum Shah as well, which is written and directed by Girish Kohli, and it has been released recently on 28th February. And yesterday I saw the movie, and here I am telling my feelings about this movie. So Crazy is basically an 1 hour and 30 minutes of a start till end, a complete thriller movie. No cuts, no jump, no music breaks or romantic breaks or whatsoever. It is basically the story of Sohum Shah's character, who is Abhimanyu Singh, who is a doctor, and his story of one day. It is basically this whole story takes place in one day, in about few hours of one day, and how he is already in a mess, and amid all those mess, he finds out that his child, has been kidnapped, and now he has to pay the ransom money as well while saving his own ass. That is the basic premise of the movie. After a long time, I feel Bird has managed to deliver a crisp and tidy thriller movie with a engaging plot point. No unnecessary cuts, no unnecessary divergence from that plot. One character, and basically the whole movie revolves around Sohum Shah's character. There is no other actors present in the scene as well. There is multiple talented voiceover artists, actors like Piyush Mishra and other multi-talented actors who has provided voice for this movie, but they haven't appeared in the frame for at least once. But still, basically the whole movie is carried by Sohum Shah himself, because he is the one and only character that has been fully focused on. It is fully reliant on Sohum Shah's acting capability, and honestly, Sohum Shah has pulled it off very nicely. The character that Abhimanyu Singh or Sohum Shah is playing, basically Abhimanyu Singh, is not a likable character. He has a lot of flaws in him, and as the movie begins, we are hinted at that way that this guy is in no way a character who can be liked or have sympathy on. But as the movie progresses, as the movie indulges into further obstacles of his, we do see his other side of his, in which he addresses all the turmoils, addresses all his guilts, and is ready to somehow face the consequences of things he has done, or the what is the right word for it, deeds he has done till now. There is a character growth in that movie, and there is a character growth in him, which allows us to indulge in the movie a lot more, because the plot line is very simple. It is a kidnapping plot line. There is a revenge or vengeful plot line in play as well, in sort of way. But the main point of the movie is Sohum Shah's character's growth. In that way, Sohum Shah, despite being the only character who is in the frame for all of the time, he really managed to keep hold of the attention very well. Plus, the fact that the movie is very crisp, very tight. There is no unnecessary breaks in the storyline. It is a very linear storyline, but the editing has been so tight that there is no moment of gasp or relief in that editing. And another plus point is the cinematography of the movie. The movie is captured in a way that is really engaging. So, in thriller movie like this, where the plotline is very simple, yet we need to engage the audience, the cinematography, the editing really needs to play their part well. And in this movie, cinematography does play his part really well. And adding to that, the music of this movie, all the retro themed musics does suit the story very well. And in addition to that, it plays a very crucial role in the movie's, what should I say, movie's intensity development. In technical terms, the movie is very, very, very well made. And the other thing that I learned about this movie is that it is made in the production value of only 5 crores. A movie that has a strong plotline, is made in a tight and crisp manner, has been cinematographed very well, has been edited in a very crisp and sharp manner, and the music fits in very well. The performance is very good. So yeah, in all the technical manners, the movie is a very solid one. Now, coming to the climax of the movie, this is the only part where I feel like the director or the writer of the movie has tried to take a different path, has tried to show a different moral perspective of of the individual behind the whole thing. Basically, uh, we know that this is me trying to not spoil the movie and keep as much as I can. We know that there kidnapping has happened and there is an individual behind all of this. So at in the climax, when the individual is revealed and we get to know the whole motive behind his all these deeds that he has done, we know that Abhimanyu Singh, the character of Sohum Shah, does deserve to get the karma for his for all the things that he has done wrong all his life. He does deserve the karma, but the person delivering this, the person behind it, the decision, choices that person make in order to make the character of Abhimanyu Singh go through this hell, that is questionable. The motive of that individual is not morally or ethically correct, and it is not justified. But the movie somehow manages to leave us in a hanging point where we don't get a clarity of what happens to that individual. That were questionable. They were not justified, and because of all those things that he made Abhimanyu Singh go through, other peoples also suffered. Other peoples could have faced fatal consequences. But at the end of the movie, at the climax, that thing, that those choices were justified in a way. So that, in moral and ethical, in writing point of view, was questionable, very questionable, and that is the only thing that I'm not siding with in this movie. That is the only point I have for this movie. Climax, that individual they chose, the protagonist they chose for being the reason of all this mayhem, and the motivation behind it. It may seem reasonable for them, but in my eyes, in moral and ethical point of view, it has some questions unanswered. That's me. My review of this movie. I felt it was a very tight movie, very crisp movie, a very solid thriller movie, very well performed by Sohum Shah, very well made movie. If you have time, give this movie a chance. And one last thing that I forgot to mention in the video, that was we are going to have a detailed explanation of this movie coming soon, and in that video we'll be having a spoiler filled talk about this movie, and explaining in further about the climax of the movie and how problematic it could be. So stay tuned for that video as well. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to Amlan Rexo.